I'd like to call the September 10th Board of Education workshop to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Going to start with any public forum comments, but I don't think anyone here is who's not presenting. All right, so we'll move on to our facilities update.
So tonight we have Mike Lantier from H2M Architects and Engineers and Kevin Sawyer from Triton Construction, just to give us a little update on the athletic facility project that has been occurring over the summer. It's been a busy summer. It's going to continue to be a busy fall and a little bit into the winter, but they'll get into some of that. So I'll just turn it over to you, Mike.
Good evening, everybody, and it's great to see everyone. I'm Kevin Sawyer with Triton Construction, your construction manager, and
Mike Lantier with H2M. A lot of familiar faces, but a couple others. H2M is the architect and engineer working in the district since about 2017, most notably for the safety and security bond, and then a number of different projects.
so we have a brief presentation that we're going to sort of tag team together to bring you up to speed. But, big picture is, we're very happy with the progress that's being made here on your fields. And so we thought we'd talk a little bit about where we are with that project. Who's doing the...
Yep, you got them. Oh,
So,
Chris is doing it.
the first thing that I'm sure that you all are excited about is the tennis courts. That the tennis court surface has been installed, and there's some fencing that's going up around the tennis courts now. They're looking to put the surface down starting next week, and then they're going to finish up all of the concrete flat work all around it. That's the walkways and pavement and that kind of thing. And so the anticipated completion for the tennis courts is October 15th. We're looking forward to seeing that done once and for all. Really excited to see your tennis team jump on that court and play on it.
So the 15th, does that mean ready to play?
Ready to play.
All right.
We are hopeful that it can get done sooner, so we can hopefully have one of the tennis matches from this fall on the court before the tennis season's over. But obviously with construction, there's always some delays and whatnot, so we're still holding out hope that we can get one match in to kind of open the court this fall.
So far, the weather has really been holding out for us, but you just never know between now and then. So we had to plan for the worst and hope for the best. I agree. We're looking to get that a little bit sooner, but that's our anticipated time at this point.
What does the temperature need to be to pour that concrete around the tennis court?
The temperature of the concrete is not so much of a concern. You can do that down to 35 degrees. The tennis court surface is the one that's really important. That has to be maintained. I think it's 45 or 48 degrees throughout the day and night.
While it's curing?
While it's curing.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's important to get that down right away before the temperature gets too low.
Thank you.
I want to ask Chris, do we have a ceremony for the opening of tennis courts?
I think once we get a little bit closer to a specific date, yeah, we'll certainly have something when
Around
once
15
we know the
that
date.
week or something?
If we can open it with the match, I think that'll be the kind of big ceremony.
Sure.
If it
Right,
somehow
we
doesn't
should have
happen this fall, then it'd
official
probably wait till the
ceremony,
spring.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll bring my racket.
I have a quick question. What happens if that temperature goes below while it's curing?
As long as you have a median range temperature of, I think, 48 degrees, I think is what is on there.
And for not a long time duration either. I think it's a 30-hour window, so we don't expect the temperature to be an issue.
Yeah, it'll take longer to set, but it won't affect it because it's not freezing. So if it froze, then it may have a problem with separation. It won't adhere correctly to the asphalt pavement. We don't see that as being an issue here. Any other questions? Good questions. Okay, moving on, the athletic baseball field. As you can see that's out there, the drainage is approximately about 80% complete right now. They're starting to put in the fence poles for the oversized netting. They're starting to put in the curbs in for the synthetic turf. And the synthetic turf is planned to be down and completed for November 15th is the date that we're shooting for that. We think that's a achievable date. Yeah, will do.
Still have any playing season?
So the softball field,
And just real quick on the baseball, we're hoping the bulk of the field is going to be done by the 15th, but then the bleachers are not going to be here until hopefully sometime in February.
Yeah, I was gonna-
The lead times on that has just gone up and.
November, is any playing time
Not
left
till
in the
No.
season?
No, it's not till the spring
Spring.
season, so.
I mean, the fields would be available, but you probably don't have any programs, school athletic programs planned for that period of time. So you can certainly hop on it after that date if you wish to. Likewise, for the softball field, construction will begin in early October on that field and move very rapidly for a completion, and the entire project would be completed by December 31st of 2024. During that winter break, we'll finalize everything with, as Kristen mentioned, the bleachers, which unfortunately has been, they're in fabrication, and you're not the only school to suffer from this. They're running a longer lead time than we had anticipated. So we're hoping for better, but it sounds like it's right now they're going to be available sometime in February. And that's all I had for an update for the current projects. If there's no other questions, I'll turn it over. Thank you.
Thank you. The next part of our presentation is really just to discuss the comprehensive plan and where we are with that process. I've met a number of the board members earlier on in the year to present the comprehensive plan in detail, so there is significantly more information than I'm showing on these slides. This is really just to give an update. So the building condition surveys have been completed. We have our lists of our scope of work, and the scope of work has been prioritized to a certain level, and it has been separated into certain different buckets. We basically looked at it on a facilities or an infrastructure side, and we're also looking at an educational component as well. That's why on this screen, we just have that logo on the left because we are going to be seeing a little bit more of that in the next coming months. The term that we're using is really, it's going to be designed for learner engagement. So our next steps, which I'll talk to on the next, on the next slide, because that's basically where we are. I'm sorry, the building condition surveys are completed and the work has been categorized and prioritized, and then moving on to really our next steps. It's further prioritization, and really what that means is starting to form committees. Now that the new school year is in session, it's really the right time to start forming these committees to hone in on what our priorities are going to look like, and then further discuss the financing behind it. What are the financing sources that we currently have that we're going to be looking at? That includes a potential bond and then potential capital reserve funding as well. But those discussions will happen really as we prioritize and form these committees and really hone in on our prioritization and then the available budget that we can have to essentially be tax neutral with an anticipated bond as well. So what we're looking to do in the next 8 months or so is to finalize this scope. We would prepare a SEQA resolution which looks at all the environmental impacts of the project, and then we would work with your fiscal advisor to make sure we look exactly what the funding looks like when you're going to tap into the different resources based on timing of the construction and the needs for those funds as well. And then during that process too, we would communicate with the public, let them know what the district is looking to include in this potential bond, discuss the needs, both educationally and facility-wise, communicate that out to your community, and then ultimately we would look to end that with a public vote to start the design and the construction process. I'm glad to answer any questions that anyone has on that process, but there is more to come in the next coming months.
When is that going to start?
Committees should be forming really within the next few weeks. Those emails I would anticipate to come out to look for the different committee members to join.
Yeah,
What types of committees are we going to set up?
there's probably going to be an overall kind of steering committee for the overall bond project, and then we'll kind of break it down into building level committees. Again, a lot of the facility work is kind of outlined in that comprehensive plan. It's going to be, those other committees in the buildings are going to be focusing on the educational enhancements that those buildings are looking for and see what we can actually accomplish with the funds that we do have.
Is that going to be just the committees? There's just going to be employees from the school, or is
No.
it going to be the public is
There'll
going
be
to get involved? And
Some community members as well.
Community members.
Yep, from different stakeholders. It'll be a pretty robust committee.
You did something similar with the security bond, I'm assuming,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
All right. Well,
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you. Just thank you very much, everybody, and have a great school year.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to board action items. Resolved that the Board of Education, upon recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, hereby approves the attached personnel agenda.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Be it resolved that the Board of Education herewith approves the settlement of a federal litigation commenced by a particular parent of a student and approves the settlement agreement and general release. Said settlement agreement and general release was reviewed by the Board of Education in executive session. Be it further resolved that the Board of Education hereby authorizes the Board President to execute the settlement agreement and general release.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstained? Okay. Resolved that the Board of Education, upon recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, hereby approves the attached memorandum of agreement between the Somers Central School District and the Somers School-Related Professionals dated September 6, 2024, creating the title of Maintenance Mechanic Mechanical.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Okay. This brings us to, I just wanted to kind of give a quick update as we move along in our process. At our August 27th meeting, we appointed school leadership as a search firm to conduct our superintendent search. This was the first step in a lengthy and deliberate process the board will undertake this year. In the coming weeks, we'll meet with the team from school leadership and plan out our next steps as a board. And part of that planning will be the steps going forward involving input from all the stakeholders, including community, faculty, and staff. This input will most likely come in the form of surveys, focus groups, et cetera, so just be on the lookout for that. The input of what all of us want in our next superintendent is gathered by school leadership, and then criteria is approved by the board, and the job will be advertised, and potential candidates are recruited. So I kind of just wanted to give everyone a sense of the process going forward. And as a board, I want you to know we're committed to keeping everyone informed about the process and where we are in the process and taking everyone's feedback into consideration. And this will include putting a superintendent search tab on our website where you can look for regular updates. It's not there yet, but that's something that we're going to be creating in the next coming month. So I suspect it'll be rolled out towards the end of September, beginning of October. But it has been starting to be worked on. So I don't know if anyone else has anything to add about it, but that's kind of where we're at in the process. I just wanted to let everyone know. So.
Nope, that covers it, I think.
Okay. And that brings us to our next round of public comments. If anyone has any public comments. Okay. Now that brings us to our board final comments. Margaret?
I'll
anyone?
make the first comment.
Okay.
Well, this first meeting of the season of the school, beginning is the most important. I forgot the Chinese proverb saying that everything, the most important thing is the beginning. So we start a school. I'm just hoping everybody is paying attention. Students will begin to set their the goals, whether it's grades, whether it's, what it's achievement you want to make. That's the time to do it. And looking forward to the new school year and to accomplish it. And second thing, I want to make it short so we can hear the debate. The debate is important not only for people who can vote, also important for people not voting it, not yet, okay, voting, because I think our democracy is has lots of room for improvement. And how do we improve that? Depends on our future generation. So keep that in mind. If you have time, watch the debate, think about it, okay, instead of playing those video games. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Just in regards to the superintendent search, it's important for people to keep an eye out as to when these surveys and everything is going to be rolled out. This way the community can get involved. It's very important that we have everybody's input. So just stay tuned and keep an eye open for when this stuff starts to get rolled out.
I agree with that, and I also, everything I've heard and seen, I think this school year's gotten off to a great start. Last evening, the high school counseling office had a college night for seniors and juniors. I would encourage anyone who's a senior college-bound or a junior who's college-bound or parents of seniors or juniors to watch the video of that. It was recorded. It was a really, really, I think, very helpful session. I've had several kids already go through the college process, but I've got some still going through it, and I think the presentation was really, really outstanding to get people thinking about that process. So even though we're just starting this school year, it's time to be thinking about what comes after that for those college-bound seniors and juniors. So I would encourage them to take a look at that recording once that's posted.
I'm just excited to have my kids back in school. No, there's a lot of things going on the next couple weeks, so just keep an eye out for letters and notifications and emails. And the school's been pretty good at putting that out. And it's hard to keep up with everything and all the events going on, and then keep track of what's going on in the school. So just check your emails and keep an eye out. And the new website's up, and just search and look up. Try to keep yourself apprised of everything that's going on.
Right. My comments apply to parents too. Beginning is important. Set your goals.
I was going to share, I just want to help us all celebrate lifelong learners, us adults, parents, the whole community, our preschoolers through our 12th graders. And my two kids are off at college right now, and I'm just so grateful for everything that they achieved and learned here at Somers. And they had their struggles, and they were they had special ed help, and it's paying off. The dividends are paying off now. So I just want to let all the parents know out there that it works. Thanks.
Good.
You have anything
Yep.
to add? No, you're good.
No, not a lot to add. Welcome back, everyone. Good luck this whole year. We know it's always a journey. There's a lot of help in the district. If you ever feel you're getting behind, never be afraid to reach out. Because otherwise, it just builds up inside of us. So that goes, parents communicate, students communicate. It is a lot of help available, and helps manage the stress.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to be stressful.
Very true.
Even though our lives are so busy and so scheduled, doesn't need to be stressful. So.
Very true. If we don't know about a
Keep
problem, we
perspective.
can't fix it. So.
Oh yeah. The future's bright.
Yeah, I think we had a very successful first week of school. I know I'm happy for my kids to be back as well. Harry did a great job at the welcome back breakfast, where we welcomed back all the faculty and staff last week, right? No, the week before. The week before. Time's flying already. And it was great to honor all of those teachers who've been with us for quite some time now. Looking forward to seeing the completed tennis courts next month and the fields going forward. And happy to attend the NYSBA convention in October. I know Ife is also registered, so there's still time if anyone else wants to. And I was also happy to see that the Somers Education Foundation is honoring 3 fantastic educators this year, Katie Winter, Meg Benedetto, and Mark Baer, an honor well-deserved, but I'm sure that we're all biased here. And yeah, I'm looking forward to a great year. So.
Good.
As mentioned, the school year did get off to a very good start. I'd like to thank all the staff, the teachers, and all of the support staff who have helped that occur. Friday night, the field was dedicated, the football field was dedicated to Tony DiMatteo. We had a good turnout for that, a nice ceremony, and the football team went on to hold on for a victory. As mentioned, the sports programs are underway. Hopefully, we will have the tennis courts finished in time for the last home meet, which is October 5th. But as mentioned in the presentation, the projected date is the 15th, but with good weather and everyone pulling for it, we may get that opening ceremony in for the 5th of October. No promises.
That's great.
Sleep with your racket under your pillow.
Just mention that tomorrow
gonna
is September
hit that
11th,
first ball.
and recognizing the 23rd year since the original attack, and our thoughts continue with all those members of the NYPD and New York Fire Department and all of the souls who were lost during that unfortunate situation. That's it.
That's it? Okay. And we also have our back to school nights are well underway. I forgot to mention that. And
SAS going on right now?
SIS is going on right now.
Trying to sneak over
So yeah, hopefully everyone gets to meet their teachers and have a good start. So resolved that this Board of Education workshop be adjourned.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Okay.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.